Yo, what's up everybody? What's up Justin? Altric, if I said that correctly. It looks like I'm dropping all the frames because my internet is the worst, but we're just gonna have to make do. So I'm hoping it's not a horrible experience for you all, but I'm stuck with this Spectrum internet and it's literally the worst. So hopefully when I move I'll get a better internet. But what I wanted to do today, since I was about to do it, was show something that I'm probably going to teach a workshop, like an in-person workshop on. But basically what I do to keep myself from being extra stressed when editing my photos. Yo, Marlon, what's up? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to get up in here. We'll go ahead and get into it. I'll do it for these next two weddings that I have flagged, so we can kind of see it in action and I can talk about it and stuff. We can get a better idea of why I do it. How's everybody else doing today though? My throat's bothering me for some odd reason, but what's going on with everybody? Anybody got any cool news, any fun things going on? All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. So basically, I'm a very positive person and I don't like stressing myself out at all. If I can make something easier or just like smoother in general, I'm gonna do it. That's just what it is. And basically what I like to do after I've culled all my photos is I will separate my photos into sections of the day, so that while I'm editing photos, it's not like, editing 1,000 photos or 1,200 photos. It's more like editing 100 here or 200 there. And it gives me a way to be able to feel like I've accomplished something, rather than sitting around and feeling like, oh my goodness, I have like 1,000 photos to edit. So let's go ahead and take a look at these two weddings I have culled and how I separate my sections so that I can edit everything quickly. Basically, I use smart previews for everything. So everything's going to be through smart albums, collections? Smart collections. So basically, I have my whole wedding culled here, and I'm going to go through each section and go ahead and put text on them so I can use that to make the smart collections. So like all this stuff here down to here is the bride getting ready. So I'm gonna label it bride getting ready, or I think I normally do, getting ready bride. And then under my folder for this wedding, make a collection, not a collection set, make a smart collection, which will be getting ready bride. Rating is 5 stars. Source folder contains all, and that'll be the name of the wedding. Hey Rainer, thanks for that sub. Thank you for the sub. This is Bianca and Lonzel. And then I also add text. So the label text is getting ready bride. Breaking work down always makes it feel like less work. Exactly. Also too, like I have 2 kids and a wife and just lots of stuff going on. So it's easier to, in a day be like, cool, I finished 2 sections of the wedding, which is like, let's say 200 photos or something, rather than being like, I edit it and I feel like I got nowhere because I have 1,000 photos to edit. So see, now you have the getting ready bride section, which is 52 photos so far. There may be some more photos. So then I go through and I keep doing that for my section. So we stopped here because this is groom stuff. So now groom getting ready. We'll go through all this until we see the breakpoint. So yeah, like here. So it's getting ready groom. And when you do this all in one sitting, it actually goes a lot faster. So if I go in and I'll make another new smart collection, all the information I had in there was there before. So now all I got to do is name it. So getting ready groom. Getting ready groom. And so there's that smart collection. Before I forget to mention, check out Rode Wireless Go. Yo, that's new, isn't it? I've been thinking, because I need a lav or something. Yeah, this little guy. It's only 200 bucks. It's not bad. Yeah, I need some kind of wireless recording stuff. And it has a built-in mic, because with my XT30, I don't know, I've been getting a lot of noise on it when I record, so I'm thinking about it. Let's keep going. So that was the groom. This would be details. Yeah, all this is details, so I'll go down to here. Mark that as, oops, details. You connect your lav and it works. Well, you do like clip it on your pants and then just have the lav on your shirt. Yeah, I might have to do it. Says details, create new smart collection. Details. Details. Here's more bride getting ready. I don't know what to put this in. Yeah, we'll just call this whole section getting ready by bride. This is the ceremony. Then we create a new section off of that. Hey Ryan, what's up, man? Well, welcome to the stream. Okay, so this I'll just call group portraits. And I also usually include the bridal party stuff in group portraits as well. Just so I have less sections. Then we make another smart collection. Group portraits. Group portraits. So there's that. Hey Hans, what's up, man? So this next section will be couple portraits. So that's just all their pictures together. So we go up to here, label it couple portraits, create the smart collection, couple portraits, couple portraits. So now I have that section. This would be more under details. And the cool thing is, if you've already made a section, you don't have to like go back and add it, because it's a smart collection. The moment you name your pictures, it will just go right into the smart collection. So this will be intros and first dances. Yeah, so we'll say intros and dances. Never thought of dividing the day up. How does that benefit your gallery handoff? So the nice thing, as far as when I'm sending it to my clients, not only does it make it easier for me. So like, for instance, this intros and dances is only 77 photos. So if I do this section and maybe another section, you know, I know how many photos I finished, and it also doesn't feel overwhelming. Because of that, I also export all of my stuff so that it's in different folders like that as well. So like this wedding I just finished, you see I have all the different sections of the day. And then because of that, I can separate the day. So you'll see these are each of the sections that I made as well. So it just keeps everything kind of cohesive, and I can upload while I edit as well. Rather than having to do one huge upload, I can basically finish a couple sections in a day and upload them after they're done, and kind of like progress towards finishing the wedding, rather than it being these huge chunks of everything, which it just feels horrible, you know, like, oh, I have 1,000 photos. And I never really feel like that. Does the folder structure stay intact in Lightroom Mobile? It does not. Mainly because I'm in Classic. So basically, Classic and Lightroom CC or Mobile, they don't really talk to each other directly. But Lightroom CC does. So basically what I would have to do, and I don't really do it often, but you can make folders somewhere in here. I think it's under these John iPad stuff. But if I made folders there, then it would actually see them. But for the most part, it really syncs. Where that stuff really syncs up is on Lightroom CC. So Lightroom CC will be exactly the same as Lightroom Mobile. Like at all times, they're exactly the same. So all these little folders I have here that I created are also on my iPad basically. But all the stuff I made here aren't there. So when I'm using my iPad, I don't worry about the folders then. I'm not on it that often. It's only when I'm away from home. Like I'm gonna be in New York for a week, in a week or so. And for that, I'm just gonna edit photos. Like not having them separated and stuff is whatever. But when I'm home and I'm going through like a bulk load of photos, I'd rather have them separated like this. So I can nicely go through and not be like all stressed. What did I just do? Intros and dances. Yep, so we ended here. So here goes some more couple portraits. That ends about here. So you'll see right now couple portraits is 89 photos, but I add more. And now it's 106. So it just does it automatically. I don't have to deal with it. Here's more details. Me and my second's cameras weren't synced up correctly, so like everything's all over the place. I hate when that happens. Like they're like totally off. Like, this is from the intros from my second. And I'm already at the speech time on my camera. It's like the worst. So this will be a part of speeches, except I think, no, that was me, I guess. Speeches, oops, too many E's. Speeches. Make my smart collection. Speeches, speeches. How do you get on sync before the event happens? I usually meet up with the second, like right before the wedding. I'll usually tell them to get there a little early. I also myself get to weddings early, and that's kind of the first thing we do. Or whenever they show up, the first thing we'll do is try and sync our cameras. I don't know what happened this time. I think we just didn't do it. This day was rough because there was like tornado warnings and stuff, and it rained pretty heavily. This will be part of couple portraits. This is more of intros and dances. How's the new hack PC rig treating you now? Pretty good so far. I haven't updated the Hackintosh side of things. I did change the RAM out, so I have like G-Skill RGB RAM in there now. But so far it's been fine. It's probably the smoothest I've ever had it. As you see, I do most of my streaming and photo editing stuff on the PC side of it, but video editing and all that stuff is all Mac. So this is speeches. I will call this reception. The only issue I have now is this stupid Corsair mouse keeps double clicking by itself, and I cannot stand it. Reception. Then make my new reception. So this method, it does seem like it takes a little bit of time, but honestly, when I'm editing, having that peace of mind and not just freaking out because I have like 1,000 photos to edit is just, it's the best. I'm sorry, it's like totally worth the setup time. We begin the Oculus Quest to go with your photo editing convenient view. Probably not. And even if I wanted to, I'd probably have a hard time convincing the wife that it was like worth it. But yeah, probably not. I just upgraded all my stuff recently, so I'm at a good place now. This is all reception, reception, reception. Reception. I guess I'll put this under couple portraits. I kind of want to keep it under reception. Yeah, we were so off. Look at that. So all this stuff is reception. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, let's go back to the speech section. This is reception. This is from speeches. And yeah, once you have the sections ready, it's pretty easy. Reception. This is cake cut. I do usually make a section for cake cut, even though it's like 20 photos, if even. So there's that. Cake cut. And this will all be reception as well. Cool, and that's the end of it. Awesome. How long have I been streaming? 20 minutes? So yeah, 20 minutes to basically separate my photos. So now instead of feeling like I have 1,000 photos, I can come through a section like the cake cut and be like, cool, 26 photos, awesome. I can like blow through that. I mean, like, these are all the same. So basically I can just come in here, edit this first one and call it a day. Bought the monitor you have on your suggestion. Did you color calibrate? Mine is coming out a bit too orange in skin tones. Huh. That's weird. No, mine's not color calibrated and it seems to be fine. I know my preset is kind of heavy with the oranges. That's why, as you see now, especially on black skin, you gotta like bring that back so they don't look all weird. But no, because on other monitors of photos I've edited, everything seems fine, so I haven't had any huge problems with it at all. Yeah, so edit the first photo and then just copy and paste. Boom. Did your second use Fuji as well? Yes. She is by far one of my favorite. I have two favorite seconds right now. The girl who helped me with this one, she shoots Fujifilm, so she had an X-T2. So editing the files are like way easier because I already, you know, I just upgraded from an X-T2. And all this stuff is Fuji, so it's very similar. My other favorite second is in New York. And she shoots Sony, so that's pretty easy to work with. I found mirrorless files are very similar between the companies, versus like if someone had Canon or Nikon, it's just like a world of difference to edit, which is kind of annoying. Fourth fave once you come to New York. Get you in there, get you paid. Yep, and then after I copy a whole section like that, I just kind of go through it and make sure everything looks kosher and not standing out totally different. So what I usually do for this, I don't show it on, I can't show it on stream, but I have two monitors, and I'll turn on the second monitor so I can see all the photos. And then by doing that, while I'm making these edits to the single photos, I can kind of batch and just make sure that they look like they fit in with the rest of the stuff. I like this one better, actually. So yeah, a section like cake cut goes pretty quickly. I really want to switch to Fujifilm. I'm shooting Canon Mark D 5D Mark III. Which camera would you recommend? The X-T3 definitely, hands down. The X-T3 right now is kind of like the camera. Oh wait, this one's like mad orange. The X-T2 is good and usable, but the X-T3 is like where it's at right now. Also, I gotta find his video, and I'm forgetting his name right now, but he had a really awesome video. He's a newer YouTuber like myself who also shoots Fuji, but he had a video on his switch to Fuji, but it was very like honest. He talked about some of the, like the downsides of Fuji and stuff, so it was really good. Let's start with this photo. Ooh, because it looks like it has a little bit more exposure on it. But yeah, this is my batch editing process. You edit one, if it's all in the same scene, copy and paste, then make sure they match. So like these ones don't match, so I have to go back, and then I'll basically just go through each photo and make sure they look good. Who's this hitting me up? And then let's copy and paste it. And then yeah, that's basically this whole section is just done. And then what I would do is I would export this in its own little folder. That would be it. The sections in this wedding are actually pretty big. Let's section out this next wedding. This one has a little bit too much. It's like 1,200 photos, but I tend to cull down like after. But yeah, you can tell through all this stuff. My second was also shooting Fuji. That's why all the RAWs look very similar. Nothing like really stands out too much. All right. So this is Getting ready bride. And so for this one, basically, I have to change the folder. So who is this? Callie and Brandon. And then just name anything correctly, and the smart album will pull everything. And then I can keep going from there. So this is groom. Does Lightroom CC have the ability to do this as well? Ooh, you know, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, actually. So let's look at the same wedding. So I can filter to the 5 stars. Can I even add text? What's this? Tags, keywords. But keywords is not text, that's separate. Here's the information. Things from Lightroom Classic. Smart preview only. Huh. Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't even think you can add text. Nope. Lightroom CC is like extra bare bones. What's this? Sorting options. We have the library. We can make folders and albums, but you have to manually make. Yeah, no. No smart albums for Lightroom CC. Sorry, Lightroom CC can do nothing. That's really. Classic is for like your professional who needs to sort and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and CC is for someone who just wants to edit a couple photos and also be able to do it on their phone. Like, that's like literally the difference. Details. This is all bride getting ready. So at this wedding, the bride and groom were like basically beside each other getting ready. So that's why it's like I keep hopping back and forth. I missed one. Here's more groom. More details. Oops, what'd I do? Oh no. Oh no, this double clicking mouse. This is all getting ready bride. This will be for first look. More getting ready groom. And then first look. Couple portraits. Stat, what up? How you doing today? Couple portraits. This will be details. Doing great. I'm good on my end. I tried to start going back to the gym again, so I've gotten about a full weekend, feeling good. Gotta try and get back to my ideal weight, which is gonna take a lot of hard work, so we'll see what happens. It's hard to pull off during wedding season too, because it's just like you get a full week of working out and then it's like, now shoot this wedding. It's like so much. Yeah, so we'll just include all this in details. And I guess I'll just call that ceremony up there. Yeah, and we'll just go all the way down. To here. That'll be our ceremony. Working out puts me in such a good mood. Yeah, I've been feeling pretty bad recently actually, and then I was like, let me get back in the gym. Now I start my days and I'm like, yeah, my arms hurt so much though. All right. This will be group portraits again. Yep, that means it's working. Yeah, I'm like hurting. Today was leg day and the wife needed the car, so I had to end up like walking all the way back home, which luckily the gym is close, but still it was like after leg day I was like, oh no. Cool. So this is more couple portraits. And this will be more group portraits. The walk home. It was painful. It was not fun at all. And this will be intros and dances, or just intros. Yeah, let's just call it intros. So this can be details. And then we have more couple portraits. Speeches. Do. Cake cut. Almost done here. This will go back under speeches. And we'll call this all first dances. Just saw my first wedding under a company who let me shadow for the whole day. Nice. What kind of stuff would you say that you kind of learned shadowing? Like, what was some of the stuff that stood out most to you? Okay, so reception. This will be group. More group portraits. More couple portraits. And then this should end off with reception. Yeah, and I'll just keep the exit a part of the reception. Cool. There. And that's it. 20 minutes to sit down and kind of sort out your wedding days so that when you go to edit stuff, it doesn't feel like editing 50 years of photos. Or you have like good breaking spots and you can easily come back and kind of know where you are in your editing, rather than just being like jumping around editing random photos or having to just go down the line, which also would be worse. I would hate to do that. It's the first time in a while that I got to use my my 90mm. So I was getting the close-ups with the 90. And then my second was getting the wides. Pictime.com is organized so well. I actually, you know, I literally just started. I've tried it a couple of times, but I think I'm really gonna make the jump this time. So I actually just uploaded my first full gallery and delivered it through Pictime literally yesterday. I've been a shoot-proof guy the whole time. I've always been a fan of shoot-proof. But the marketing stuff on Pictime looks like it makes a lot of sense, and it'll help with getting like print sales and stuff. Honestly, learned a lot of good and bad things that other photographers are doing. See, and that's the good thing about being able to shadow someone or associate or something, because learning the bad stuff is actually just as valuable as the good stuff, honestly. It's almost more valuable, I would say. Like, so you don't make those same mistakes. Oh, 90mm so good. Let's see if we can just take this all the way. Too much exposure. Highlight video at the top of the page. I didn't even know you could you can upload a video in Pictime. I don't know how to use Pictime. I literally just switched. I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, just delivered my first gallery using it, and so far, pretty good. Pretty good so far. I'm definitely trying to get used to it though. I feel like I was able to see a lot more information through Shootproof, but it's probably also just because I'm getting used to it, so I can't hate too much. Ooh. Pictime's for delivering galleries of photos, basically. So after I'm done editing here, I would upload the stuff to Pictime. So it's the same as like Pixie Set, Shoot Proof, Grubhub. I don't know. What are the name of the other photo delivery services? Honestly, let me X out those first couple of ones where you like can't totally see his face. Yeah, like that's kind of pointless. That one's pretty good, but these other two. I can't remember what it's called. The rest of the photo services. Cloud Spot, Pixie Set, Format. There's so many of them. Isn't there one with a G? Or have I just lost my mind? $90mm is so sharp, so good. Like, look at that. Look at that 90mm doing work. I'm about to start using it more often. Oops. Yeah, this bulk editing is the future. Just get these thousands of photos out real quick. Are you using Loop Deck? I am not. I'm just using the keyboard. You actually, so Loop Deck is cool, and I'm not hating, but for the most part, if you know your key commands, you can get around in Lightroom pretty quickly without needing something like Loop Deck. So basically, like, you can come in here and choose. See how it said modified exposure with the plus minus key? So now on my keyboard, I can hit plus and minus and just change exposure. And I can do that for different things. So Loop Deck's probably overall a little bit faster, but for the price, it's kind of like, eh. All those membership based, yes, they are. Some of them have like free plans where you can deliver a small amount of photos. So, you know, if you're not doing a whole bunch of weddings in a year, you just have a handful of sessions or something, you can definitely jump on there and give them a try. That's what I would suggest too, like try them out. Basically, it looks like PicTime is the best so far for marketing and coupons and trying to get sales of like prints and stuff. And then I don't know, Pixie Set is just the nicest looking. Shoot Proof it has contracts as well, so you can use contracts. But I do all that stuff through Honeybook, so that stuff's kind of pointless to me. Cool, so that was all my photos. Now I have the photos of my second, and what I can do for that is I can still copy my settings, but I'll need to, oh yeah, I'll need to adjust a lot of things. Because the X-T3 is like wonky with his colors comparative to the 2. Oh, my arms are so sore. So I have my preset for the X-T2 only. So I'll swap that out. And actually this looks pretty good. Oh, you know what? Copy settings. Paste. Which Fuji bodies are your favorite right now? Thoughts on the X Pro 2? I have not had a chance to use any of the X Pro series, so I don't really know too much about them. Favorite is a hard one. It depends on what I'm using it for, because honestly, like this little bro right here, I love this little thing. The XT30 is so good. I think my only two big gripes with it so far, my two big gripes is that the screen doesn't do the portrait flip that like the XT3 does, and this Q button is in like the worst spot, because you go to hold the side, especially with it being such a small camera, and you press Q all the time. It is so annoying. And supposedly there was like an update or something, but this thing is like XT3 processor inside, so it's XT3 quality, but it's, look at it, it's tiny. Do I have an XT3 somewhere? There's somewhere. I'm not gonna get up and get it right now, but it's just tiny. So I use this for like when I don't need to do serious shooting, or like shooting my family or something. I record most of my videos on here now too. This is my main video camera, since it has the face detection and everything. Cool, yeah, and then this whole section is done. It's a little, I'm half and half on the tint. Yeah, I'll pull it back like that. Undo tint, and then we will just select it all and pull that tint back a bit. It's like a Matrix move. Awesome, yeah, and then that whole section is done. So that's 47 photos real quick. And then I have it, I can see it here, I can export it like this. It'll be in a folder all ready for me, and then I will import it like this. And then I don't have to worry about it. And that's literally what I'll do, is I'll export it after I'm done and upload it to like PicTime or Shootproof. And then I just don't have to worry about it anymore. Like that section of photos is done. And that's how I keep myself from being extra stressed about how many photos I have to edit for the wedding. And then, you know, my longer sections take a little bit longer, but it's still not as bad. This whole mouse double clicking thing is like irking me. Oh, that was my second. That's a good shot. It's a good black and white shot. It's the version of the song with the lyrics. It is. Let's see if these settings will hit all these photos. But yeah, I want to make a video on the XT3 and the XT30, why I upgraded to the XT3, my thoughts on the XT3 versus the 30. So that's kind of like my updates going forward The biggest thing right now is just since I have weddings and like I have a pretty good amount of them, it's a lot. So I just finished, like, I think it was 6 weekends, but 7 weddings. I just finished that, and oh my goodness. See, that was the double click. It's this Corsair mouse. It's the worst. But, so that was 7 weddings, and I have only finished, what? How many have I done so far? Out of those 7 weddings, I think I've only did 4. Yeah, so I have 3 left. One of which I haven't even called yet. So yeah, keeping up with all the editing and also trying to make videos is like, it's a lot. So, you know, my videos may slow down a little bit, but don't worry, I'm still here. And if y'all have requests for stuff you want to see, send it my way. Man, the 90 is so sharp. Then you have the 23 that like misses focus. I have such a love-hate relationship with the 23 f2. Like, I'm pretty sure it missed the focus on this one. I can't totally tell. I mean, I guess it's okay. I can't totally tell, though. Yeah, I'm about to switch to the 23 f1.4. Won't have to get that extra light, but I've heard it's a lot sharper too. The f2 is great. I really do. I enjoy the f2 a lot, but it just, like, I don't know what is its issue. It just doesn't catch the focus right. And it'll look like you're in focus, but it's just like slightly off. Like the tiniest bit off. And it's super annoying. I might sell the f2. I have 2 of them because I love it for video. It's great for video stuff. And yet again, I obviously don't like shoot video, but for my YouTube stuff, like, it's the perfect like focal length and everything. It's really good. The focusing is quiet, so it's cool. But yeah, I'm probably gonna sell one of my f2s and get the 1.4 to replace it. Grab it from you. Yeah, the f2 is probably perfect for a travel setup. Get it in the XT30, because I mean, this thing is, right now I have the 35 f2 on this, which is awesome, but it's just so good. It's so small, so good. I could go on forever. I love the XT30. Like, I really do. This is about the same as this other scene, so let's see if we can just pull the settings. And what's weird, and I might make a video on this too actually. So my second was using the XT2, and recently she was complaining about the 23F2 and how it was missing focus. And I noticed that when I switched over to the XT3, that problem actually got better. Like the 23 started focusing a lot better than when it was on the XT2, and it was like weird. So like the F2 on the XT3 is actually really good. The F2 on the XT2 is questionable. And it's like funny, and like because she shot like most of these weddings you see, like the last 3 weddings she shot with me. So I have like a whole bunch of examples now of how, like, I'll take a scene that I shot with the F2 and the scene that she shot with the F2, and it's just like nearly night and day. It's kind of crazy. Like hers are all out of focus, and she's a good photographer, so I know it's not her. And I used to have the issue when I was on the XT2 as well. So it's just like, it's crazy to see. Y'all, the 90 mil. This double clicking has to stop. Yeah, if any of you all aren't wedding photographers and you wonder how wedding photographers edit their photos, this is it right here. You take the time to create yourself a preset that works, and then you just batch edit everything. Because there's just too many photos to edit to be sitting around taking hours per photo. Luckily too, I love it when I get a couple that, like, after I've taken the photo, like everything looks pretty good overall. There's nothing standing out. So I don't have to go in and like clone stamp and all kinds of craziness. Like, not too often. So I'm probably gonna stop trying to do this, but as far as how many frames I take on a wedding day, I've recently been shooting for emotion more, and because of that, I've been shooting a lot more frames. So on like an 8-hour day between both of my cameras, you're talking maybe like 4,000 photos or 6,000 photos. You can see it right up here too. So 6,000 for this wedding. I did 10,000 for the wedding you're seeing here, but this was a longer day and we had a lot of opportunity to shoot. So, but yeah, usually it's about 6,000. So like 3,000 photos per camera. Usually, it's a little heavy. Culling gets kind of annoying, but I'd rather have the options of their expressions than just not have it. Sometimes colors shift a lot, or the camera reads it wrong. How do you set up your camera for the best results when it batch editing? The main thing, which I still don't do and I need to do, and my mentor, he has us, whenever I shoot weddings for him, that's how we have to shoot it. But shooting in Kelvin is like probably the best. And then luckily on something like Fuji, switching Kelvin is not hard. Like, it's actually something you can do real quick. And since you can see it in the viewfinder, like, it's really not bad. Look at that. Look at that dynamic range. So So see on this photo, because we're kind of close in, I'm gonna give her a little bit of skin smooth. Find a Fuji to have bad color metering in comparison to, yeah, it's just like white balance by itself. Sometimes it's off, it's like really off, and it's kind of like, the color science of Fuji is great, but yeah, the metering can be like wonky sometimes. Look at that dynamic range save. No double click, no, there it goes. Luckily the photo wasn't blown out that hard, but let's make a black and white too. Yeah, like, check out this photo from a wedding I just finished. Editing. I think it was this one. Yeah, look at that. Look at that straight out of camera white balance. That was from the white balance metering, and it was just like, bro, what? And I mean, yeah, it was cloudy and stuff, but it's still like, I don't know. It was pretty bad. I had to end up switching it to Kelvin at that point, because I was like, yeah, this is bad. This is pretty bad. Where was I? Couple portraits. I nearly finished their whole portrait section. I didn't even think I would do it either, but here we are. Blowing through these photos. Let's see what auto does. Eh. Oh, were those photos? Oh no, okay. I thought they were from my seconds. Are any of these edited already? This one is. This was with the 23. Did I put a graduated filter on this? Yep, I did. Okay. I figured I did. I was like, how did the sky look like that? There's no way. Hey, Steve. What's up? I hope the landscapers outside aren't too loud for y'all. It's mad annoying. I like can't stand it. Anytime they come and I'm just like, can I just like have a day to chill? Did it paste my settings? Throw a little bit of exposure on it. Is this even in focus? I hate smart previews sometimes. They're like, oh, use smart previews. They're so great. They're so fast. And it's like, I can't even see anything. Like, I literally cannot tell if this is in focus or not. And that's another one of those 23 f2 issues. Let's export some of these just so I can see if it's actually in focus or not. What's your thoughts on Capture One? Sometimes I find it handles raw files better, but a very in-depth program. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to use Capture One yet, but I've heard a lot about how it's better with Fuji files, and I've been curious. My only issue is presets. Cause like I have my presets and I have my whole system down, so I'm like, I want to switch, but I also like just want to edit these photos. So I'm looking into. I've heard it's better, and I wouldn't be surprised. Lightroom is pretty crap. So like it's pretty crap. Do you prefer shooting with a second shooter? Shot about 50 weddings all by myself. Yeah, so I shoot most of my weddings by myself too, and having a second, especially if they're a good second who you can trust and you know they're good, it is totally worth it. Like beyond worth it. Having a second is the best. Now having a second that you don't like or prefer or shoots totally different than you is not a help at all. At that point I'd rather shoot it by myself. Okay, so these were in focus. It's so hard to tell sometimes when looking at the smart preview only. So this is my usual export process. At this point I would add my sharpening and grain preset on to these photos. So I'm in exposure 4 right now. So this is like the last section of what I do with editing. Also too, Exposure has this cool bokeh feature which you can add like a fake tilt shift look to your photos. So sometimes my super wide shots, I'll throw that on there. So take a traditional lens, take like a 50, 51.8, and then you put where your bokeh is gonna be at. Give it that tilt shift kind of look. Yeah. Exposure 4, you can do a lot of stuff. I literally only bought it for sharpening and grain since Lightroom sharpening on Fuji files is like the worst. It's like the absolute worst. So I only got it for that, and then I was like, oh, it has this cool like tilt shift look to it too, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll do that. I'll take that. Like I used it recently on a gallery I just delivered. Let me see if I can find it. Here's good old pick time. It was in a couple portraits. So this gallery you're looking at here, I had a second shooter on this one. And this was also a second shooter who shoots a lot like me, and she also shoots Fuji. So, like, you really, aside from the edits being the same, you can't tell too much. Like, some of these wide shots, I'm pretty sure was her. Yeah, she was shooting the wide stuff here, and I was shooting the close-ups. But her style is like the same. I'm pretty sure this was her. I actually can't tell because I also took a couple wides as well. So I can't remember if this was me or her. Oh no, it is her. I can tell only because of the file name. She has all of hers with PJP and mine are the DS whatever, like straight out of the camera. But you see, like, this was me and that is her. Like, we took nearly the same shot. So having a second who's like legit is a party. So there goes the tilt shift again. She took this one, so I added the tilt shift to it. So yeah, it's kind of cool depending on the photo. It gives a good effect to it. And it seems like she was using the 23 f2 on this one. I think it's a little bit better when you shoot it in portrait like this and then do the tilt shift on it. I like it a lot actually. I might start doing it more often. They do have use styles, which is same as presets in Lightroom. Started by, yeah, using Lightroom. Yeah, if it's faster and if it's way better with Fuji files, I might just get Capture One and like sit down with it for a couple hours and like recreate my preset. Cause yeah, Lightroom is pretty bad. I only like teach on it and stuff because it's what I use and I'm like used to it. But I really, it's not a good time. Oh, you know what this is? I think I wanted to make a GIF out of that, right? Yeah. That was her spinning. So now I gotta copy the settings, add transform to it, we gotta paste it. Hey, Christine, thanks for this sub. Alright, so we just pasted these settings. Oh man, I'm about to go take a nap. So, I showed this in another live stream, and I might just make like a single video on it, but I'm gonna make a GIF out of this. And since Fuji shoots at like 11 frames a second, making GIFs on this stuff is pretty awesome. So just right click it, edit in, Photoshop. Now I gotta wait for all these photos to load. This is the only thing I hate about making GIFs, is it takes forever. You gotta wait for all these photos to load. Then after that, you gotta actually put them together. And this is a bunch of photos. What's this, like 40 photos? Oh my goodness. There. Okay, so now we're gonna file, automate. Oh wait, is it scripts? Yep, load files in the stack. And we choose our open files. Okay. And then you gotta wait for Photoshop to align all the photos. This is why I don't do these that often. Like, I'll bring it up sometimes on wedding days, but I try not to do them too often because it's a lot. It takes probably a good like 20 minutes. And then we create our frame animation. Oh no, the double click. Such a tedious process. Oh my goodness, how many photos? We made it. Select all. Can I select all? Oh, I gotta, okay. Put a 0.1 second for each frame. And there we got a fun little GIF. Then you gotta export it. Export. Save for web. Then you gotta wait for it to load. Make this thing like 15% of the whole. So much waiting. GIFs. 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 Why? Then make sure it plays okay. Cool. And then we save it. Ta-da! The lovely process of making a GIF. Then after that, I usually upload it to Giphy. Awesome. Well, that's it for today, guys. The main thing I wanted to show was how I separate my photos, which helps me overall in editing my photos and not feeling too stressed. Because even now, I finished like half of this whole section, and I only have a little bit more to go. So I'm pretty much like done. Like I feel good, you know? Like I'm in a place where I'm like, cool, I can like stop now. It's no big deal. Oh, were some of those shots my seconds? Oh no, okay. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out. Marlon, glad you're learning from the videos and stuff. Happy to have y'all hanging out. And yet again, I'll probably have more live streaming because I have more content for this. And it's easier to do than making videos because I can still edit the weddings I have to do. So I will catch you all next time. Y'all have a good rest of your week. And make sure to follow the Instagram to kind of check out the stories of the wedding days and stuff like that. I'll catch y'all next time. Right. Peace.